Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if...
Okay, can someone please tell me why Jaguar Wright is going on an industry exposure tour? You know, this is a very harmless question. Like, I'm not trying to be aggressive or anything. Like, I really want to know because it might have been something I missed along the way. You know, the rabbit hole for social media and things that happen on social media run deep sometimes. And maybe I missed the mark. I missed the basis. I missed the origin. I missed something because I'm trying to understand, you know, why does it seem like every 1 or 2 days I'm hearing something from Jaguar Wright? You know, at first she dropped a little bit of information, a little bit of tea, if I'm not mistaken, about the Roots and Common and what they did to her. And that's very unfortunate. That's not something that you want to go through. But then we started to go left and more people got exposed. And I'm like, okay, were we supposed to go in this direction? Like, what is happening like right now? Like, things to me are getting a little bit weird. You know, 2020 is a year of exposure, straight up. You know, this has been a crazy and a wild year already. But most of all, like, a lot of people are getting exposed to what they've been doing for a very long time. Now, people have been exposed before, of course, year after year, but this year is different. So I'm just thinking in my mind, right? I'm having a wild thought. I'm sitting here like, okay, did the universe put Jaguar Wright in the industry like over 10 years ago? So that, you know, 10 years later, she can just start exploiting people in the industry. Like, maybe this was like meant to happen. And this is 2020, the year of exposure. And like, here we are. I don't know. I really just don't know. And so she put the Roots in Common out there. And then again, we went left. So now she's exploiting Diddy, Clyde Davis, Aliciakeys, Jillscott, Summer Walker, Tevin Campbell, Beyonce, Talib Kweli, Patti LaBelle. And how did Patti LaBelle get dragged in this, honey? Jaguar Wright was talking about how Patti LaBelle lost the versus battle and she didn't rep for Philly. And I was like, Jaguar Wright, Patti LaBelle just had a flip phone not too long ago. Give the woman some credit here. And that's Patti LaBelle, the legend. Anyway, and Jaguar Wright is also putting Maryjblige and Jennifer Lopez on blast. And I'm telling you, Jaguar Wright is not done. I know she has some more people to put out there and she's doing it with ease and she's gaining traction and she's getting more views. So she's feeling driven to do what she's doing right now. Because first it started out slow and now like she's like really starting to gain some movement here. So, you know, with all these videos and rants that she's been doing, like, you know, I want you guys to do your Google searches, like, go and see what she's been talking about if you really want to, because I would spend more than an hour, 2 hours talking about all the things that she's been talking about. It's a lot of information. So Jaguar Wright, y'all, is a very talented singer. She is very talented. But what she's doing here is showing a confirmation of how scary and evil the industry is. And like, there are people that go in the industry that are talented just like her. They can sing. Aside from her, they can dance, they can play instruments. You know, they have great personality and, you know, they have the body and the face and all that stuff. Like, they're the total package, and they come out in front of the world to entertain people, and that's all they want to do is entertain. But then you have people that sign bad contracts and people that get blackballed and people that get beat up and people that, you know, if they do one thing wrong, their career is done. And it's just like, why do you want to be a part of this? You know, this one talent that you have, you can't give it to the world the way you want to, because of all the bad things that are amplified like times 10. And it makes it sound so good to be an underground artist or maybe an independent artist, because you're not really going through this in particular. you know, for someone that knows how to play the guitar and just get on stage and light up people's lives, like that has to be fulfilling. But all this other stuff, who wants to deal with that? There are people that get on stage and they dance from left to right, and you know, they're captivating the people and they're on point and they're doing what they're supposed to do. But then they got a bad contract and then they end up being on drugs, and then somebody, you know, blackballs them because they were doing drugs with them and they didn't like the way, you know, they handled something. It's just I'm making up a story, y'all, but y'all understand what I'm saying. Being in the industry does not sound like a good thing. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, is the industry going to have to change? Or is it going to be dismantled and rebuilt into something else? Because the way it's operating is not on a good track. Like I asked the question before, like, was Jaguar put into the industry for a reason? And is she going to be the, what's the word? The downfall of the industry itself? That could be a reach. I don't know, but I'm just thinking, guys, like, a lot of things have changed in 2020. Could the industry be it? You know, Jaguar Wright expressed that she's protected, you know, and she has her Smith & Wesson, you know. Anybody try to roll up on her, she's ready. And I hear her. That sounds all fine and dandy when you're behind the screen and you're talking and you're putting people out there and you haven't met anybody in these streets. See, it's one thing to talk, but please understand that people plot when you don't know they're plotting against you. People will catch you in the streets with that cigarette in your mouth and knock you out. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but you cannot underestimate your enemies. You have to understand the art of war and when to move and when not to move. That is very important. So if Jaguar Wright is moving right now and she knows she's doing the right thing, let's hope that she's making the right choice. Again, never underestimate your enemies. You got to be 10 steps ahead of them and at the right place at the right time. So, okay, Jaguar. Now, my thing is I'm sorry for anything that she went through. Again, I want to know the exact reason why she's going on this industry exposure tour. I really want to know. But my thing is, and I want to make this point, Jaguar Wright, you chose the industry. You didn't have to choose the industry. You chose it. As human beings, we make choices, we get into careers, jobs, we make families, we get into relationships, we get into groups and organizations and schools and go to college and all that stuff. We choose to go places. We have free will. And there's people that tolerate certain things, bad things, for long periods of time, 5, 10 years, until they decide, I can't take this abuse anymore. I can't take this evilness anymore. I can't take this treatment anymore. I have to go move on to the next thing. And so there are people that stay for a long period of time and you think to yourself, why did you stay that long? Why did you deal with all of that for so long? Again, as human beings, we don't know when to pull back and stop. We don't know when to say, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. This is not for me. I have this talent. I have these skills. I could use it here, but maybe not. So it wasn't in Jaguar Wright as a human being to say, you know what, I'm going to stop dealing with the industry. No, she wanted to come in and sing. But only in a perfect world. Only in a perfect world would that work. So, guys, I'm going to wrap up this video and ask a few questions here. You know, is what Jaguar Wright doing right? Or is it wrong? Is she giving us tea or burnt coffee? Do you want her to leave you alone? Or do you think that what she's doing is right? Like, bring me some more tea. I want to know some more. Like, put these people on blast. I don't care. Do you think that her saying that she's protected is enough? Or do you feel like she needs to watch herself in these streets with all these goons out here? So, guys, leave your comments below. Tell me how you feel about this industry exposure tour, and you guys take care.